about like dying. But anyway, our recitation is about society shaming women's bodies. And the first point I come to is breastfeeding. And in 47 out of the 50 states, it's legal for women to breastfeed wherever they want, whenever they want, in public or not in public. But even though it's legal, women across the nation have been told that they should not do it in public, and they've been harassed for it in places like Walmart, homeless shelters, airplanes, and at McDonald's. And yeah, put it full screen.
Action 7 News live at 10. Doug Fernandez, Shelley Rabando, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Joe Diaz, and Bob Brown Sports. Coverage you can count on.
Vermont's human rights officials have ruled an airline did discriminate against an Espanola woman who was breastfeeding on a plane.
It was over a year ago that Emily Gillette made headlines saying she was kicked off a flight at the Burlington airport for breastfeeding her child. New at 10, Mia Morin talked with Gillette just after the meeting.
And I really believe that the commission exists for a reason, and that's why I'm here.
Emily Gillette finally got to make her case to Vermont's Human Rights Commission against Freedom Airlines. She says she always believed her rights were violated when Freedom Airlines ordered her and her family off a plane in Burlington after she declined to cover up while breastfeeding her daughter nearly 18 months ago.
Have a seat, please.
After she and her family met with the 5-person panel behind closed doors, Gillette emerged feeling optimistic and emotional.
It's a lot of pressure. It's, I'm excited and antsy and nervous.
Her optimism paid off when the commission ruled that the airline had violated her rights. When Gillette's story became public, mothers across the country came to her defense, staging protests at airports in Burlington and other places like Boston and New Mexico. She says this experience has changed her life in a positive way. She's become a vocal advocate for other breastfeeding mothers.
Oh, I'd love to see new policies in an industry with no policies protecting breastfeeding.
And Gillette says she was disappointed the commission did find Delta Airlines, which owns Freedom, in violation. She also filed a complaint against Delta. Representatives from that airline declined to comment.
So yeah. Another thing I found about breastfeeding is like, would you eat here? And this campaign is called When Nurture Called, and it was created by 2 Texas college students named Jonathan Wentz and Chris Harrow. And the goal of the campaign was to support a bill being passed in Texas to protect nursing women from harassment in public places. And it says, this is like something that one of them said, it said, by law, breastfeeding mothers are not protected from harassment and refusal of service in public, often forcing them to feed in scheduled, secluded places such as public bathrooms. And then these are the ads. And then the next woman I'm going to talk about is Candace Swingpool, and she's a Victoria's Secret model, and she had a baby on October 7th, and then she posted a picture of her breastfeeding, and she got a lot of backlash for that online, and people were like telling her that she shouldn't be doing that because it's inappropriate. But then she also said that people had no issue with her doing topless photos, but have a problem with her doing something that's natural for her baby. And at the bottom, I'm not going to read it because it's long, but it's a quote that she put on Instagram about the picture. And then this is kind of like, yeah, it's kind of the same thing that's happened. It's like a social experiment that someone
What's up, guys? I'm Joey Salas, and this is the Breastfeeding Public Social Experiment Part 2. Sexy versus breastfeeding. Let's see how people react.
I'm Jamila. How are you?
I'm Samia. Nice to meet you.
Oh, serious? I guess so.
Follow me on Instagram.
Actually, you can probably follow me.
Seriously, man, we have to do that here? It's disgusting.
Sorry. That's not good. Oh, of course.
It hurts. I'm a new mom.
What should
I can't feel anything on this boob anymore.
Oh, wow.
That's disgusting, Mom. I don't appreciate your tip being out like that. So why is this disgusting?
That's just gross. Her tits are out.
But her boobs are out too. That's okay.
Different. That's just how her shirt is. That's fine. It's not gross.
I'm feeding my son.
See, this is something natural, and that's just sexy, so you think that's okay?
You can do that somewhere else. That's not appropriate here.
Well, if you have a problem with that boob being out, you should have a problem with that boob being out too.
I mean, I guess I think that's kind of gross.
Alright.
Why do you have to get that in public? That's disgusting.
Why is that okay, but that's not okay?
Because that's hot, and that's just disgusting.
So, that's okay because it's hot, but this is not okay because it's something natural and you think it's disgusting?
Yeah.
Alright. That's what you think then. Thank you guys for watching. Please give this video a like and share. Don't forget to subscribe to see more videos just like this. Thanks for watching.
And then the next thing I have is something called the Free the Nipple movement. And this was started after a movie called Free the Nipple. And basically the idea is if men are allowed to be like topless and having their nipples like shown, then women should be able to too. Because if a man can post a picture of like a topless picture on Facebook and it'd be fine, but women can't, it's like why? And so this has inspired women all over the world, and basically this is the whole slide in one sentence. That's cool. You know, the next one.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Would you consider putting a picture on your slide without the little circles?
I felt like I would get in trouble by Denniston, but I don't know. I wasn't sure. She's not even here, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Okay, so the next thing I came to is how a woman's body image is portrayed in like the media, and then magazines set unrealistic expectations for body image using Photoshop. And then this is a quote from someone, I think his name's like Peter Lindbergh or something. He's a really famous like photo editor. And several public figures have agreed that magazine image retouching has gone too far. And then there was something I saw about the retouched photograph aimed at changing a person's physical appearance warning label. And that was suggested, someone in France suggested that be put on like photoshopped images, but that was denied. And another thing I have is like runway models being like too skinny, and then France passed this law, and then any woman who has a BMI lower than 18 cannot model in France, Spain, and Italy, I think it is. And then it says the activity of model is banned for any person whose body mass index is lower than levels proposed by health authorities and decreed by the ministers of health and labor. And then breaking the fine could face 6 months in jail, and then a fine of 75,000 euros, and that's like $82,000 US dollars. Oh, is it done? So the law was passed to help fight eating disorders such as anorexia and bulimia, but this was really controversial because not like having a petite figure is not always caused by eating disorders. And then now you can go on.